Greetings and salutations. Greetings and salutations to the bloodline. There's some work going on outside of my tent. Yes. Yep, y'all come on in. Um, wow, today is amazing. First of all, as always, I'm gonna show y'all where I am. I'm 10 toes down. I'm going to do, of course, political, biblical presentation about what's going on in the realm real quick. Okay, because I'm sure we've been getting more than enough than a handful of lies right about now. So I'm gonna try not to make this too long as usual. Like, subscribe, and share. Please like, subscribe, and share. I know that what I'm about to say goes against a lot of what is going online, and it goes against even some of the teachers who I love, who I follow. But it is what it is, okay? Y'all know I don't come up here unless I got some verifiable knowledge to what's going on. So right now, everybody's talking about the earthquakes and all this other stuff going on around the realm. So I want to get straight into that. I've always said that humans are Genesis 2, and I'm going to always stick to that. Okay. So right now, we have something going on in our oceans called desalination. Okay. This desalination plant will turn 2025, in which I always say I'm going to put it with the Bible, right? So, what is the purpose of desalination? They're going to tell you it's because we need fresh drinking water, and I'm about to tell you that water is the fucking toxic waste from desalinating the water. And I'm going to prove to you why they desalinate the water, okay? So, this is an article. It says the subsea desalination plant will turn Pacific Ocean into tap water. Let's go to Genesis 2, because that's what I have written up here. Two, 5, and 6. Genesis chapter 2, 5, and 6. Chapter 2, 5, and 6. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth. And there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. Now, why did our ground need to be watered when in Genesis 1, everything already grew without rain? I'll tell you why. Water is the toxic waste from desalinating our oceans. What is the purpose of desalinating the ocean? Well, these people are going to tell you that they desalinate the water so that we can have fresh drinking water. But that's bullshit. Go to Yaki. Yaki is telling you the truth. If you want to stay hydrated, eat the fruit and vegetables of this realm. The seeded fruit and vegetables, mind you, that grow naturally. Okay, that's point one. Now, what happens to our realm when they start desalinating the water? What is the waste created from desalination? Well, they'll say composition of brine, chemicals, other minerals, the harm to marine life. The marine life is whales, dolphins, sharks, sea lions, fish, krill, shrimp, lobster. If it lived in the ocean, it's marine life. So what do you think happens to marine life that needs sea salt water, salted water? If you take the oxygen, which is the saline, the salt, out of the water, what happens to it? You begin to suffocate it. So when they tell you the coral are dying of natural causes, they fucking lying. They desalinate in the fucking ocean. The coral live in sea salt water. If you take the salt out the water, what happens to the water? What happens to the ocean? Because I need y'all to think. Okay? Ocean discharge. Underground injection. So if clean drinking water is the result of desalinating ocean water, why is the water in our communities always got lead and arsenic? Because it's the fucking waste from desalinating the water, from desalinating ocean viscous material. Okay, I need y'all to think. Now, why do they desalinate? If we need salt, why do they desalinate the water? Because they cannot freeze ocean water. You can, but it takes a whole lot longer. And why do they want to freeze the water? Why? Because they need fresh water without salt that will freeze faster so that they can create cryogenics. So, I asked AI, is water without sodium a natural occurrence? What was its answer? It said, no, water without any sodium is not a natural occurrence. So why are we drinking fresh spring water with no? So there is no such thing as spring water. Spring water and fresh fish are fed into what is called an aqueduct. That means there's a man, not a man, there's an Adam or a woman up there feeding the aqueduct water that has been stripped from the fucking ocean of its sodium. Okay, let's pay attention. Because now they're going to say it's water. And it is water now. Because it is no longer oceanic. It is no longer considered the deep. Water is toxic waste from removing sodium, magnesium from the water. And they make you drink it and tell you, oh, you need 8 cups of water. Listen, these motherfuckers are so slick. They're making you drink the toxic waste. They're making you get rid of the evidence of terraforming our planet, of terraforming our realm. So Genesis 2:5, that's what Genesis 2:5 is about. They officially remove all the ingredients that we need in our water. They'll tell you salt water is bad for you. Don't drink the salt water. But yet they'll remove it and give us the water. So AI, their own AI tells you that water with no salt is not natural and it kills you. Now, I'll pull this up because this is the Jew's 7-stick candle holder. Revelations chapter 12, 7 heads, 7 crowns, the beast. Revelations chapter 13, 1 through 3, 7 heads. How many days of the week we have? 7 days. Okay. Revelations 216, 7 stars in the right hand. Remember, Demon Knight, Jada Pickett, the Demon Knight had how many stars in his hand? The real Demon Knight had how many stars in their hand? So I want you to be aware that the Jews also have. So the 7 stick candle holder is called the menorah. But they're trying to work their way up to the 9th life. Remember, cat, you know how they like to say cats have 9 lives, right? Because they do have a 9 stick candle holder, okay? So, brine is from distillation. What is brine? Brine is water. So, they love to tell you that fluoride. So I asked, if fluoride is the toxic waste, why is it added to our water? So they say, even though fluoride is created as a toxic waste left behind from making aluminum and steel, it is still not considered toxic waste. Why? Because they think we pigs. Unexpected decline in the ocean. Carbon. In 2023, Earth's ocean carbon sink unexpectedly weakened about 10%, absorbing nearly 1 billion tons less CO2 than expected, a decline primarily caused by record high sea surface temperatures. Now, they tried to blame it on El Nino. They tried to blame it on everything. I ain't heard shit of El Nino yet this year, but I have heard of them desalinating 500 billion gallons of Pacific Ocean water. And you wonder why the whales and the dolphins and shit is tripping on these humans? Because they know these humans is killing them. Okay, article. California to start. Desalination 2025. What's the company? The Ocean Well Deep Sea Project. How many billions of water? So they're lying to you saying they're doing this to create drinking water for us, but we have never had clean drinking waters in our communities, have we? Thank you. Now, if aluminum is natural, but you got to make it, and fluoride is the toxic waste, why is it on the elemental chart? It's on there because they use aluminum. They know how to make it. So it has nothing to do, the periodic elemental chart has nothing to do with your health. It has everything to do with what they mine monetarily. Okay? So when they desalinate, now they want to tell the truth. What other environments? Discharging brine to the ocean can harm marine ecosystems by lowering oxygen levels and increasing salinity. Habitat degradation. Rising salt levels near salination plants can disrupt marine life. Groundwater contamination. So this is about this the current desalination of the water of the ocean now has nothing to do with giving us drinking water. We already know any water that's produced after they desalinate is the toxic waste. Google this shit yourself. Okay. Now, what is the water going to be used for? Cryogenics. They are creating the biggest data banks on this realm right now. They need cold air. They need cryogenesis for that. The first databases were public were the libraries. That was and in the library, if it gets too hot, what they do, they shut it down because you can't use the computer, right? Because it has to be cold. That's a cryogenic state. Google the AC gap between America and Europe, which is why you have more people dying in Europe than America, because America ain't afraid to turn on the cryogenic. AC is a cryogenic. It's not air conditioner. It's air cryogenics. It's cryogenics for the air. So, my people, I wanted to keep this short. Anytime you feel cold air, you are feeling an anti-biological weapon is being used against you. If the temperature drops basically below 80, they are using a biological weapon against you. I love you. That was the short version. You want the longer version? You know what to do. Hit that Cash App. Email me. Because I'm keeping these shorter. I got a lot to do. I really got a lot to do. Yep, I don't have time to always do the 1 hour classes. It don't even be worth it half the time. So yeah, that's what the decilionation is about. And they're trying to make you think that all this. Listen, the earthquakes and stuff is because they drilling, they doing shit they ain't got no business doing. Plain and simple. This ain't no great blah, blah, blah. That's the great not now. You wanted some disclosure, that's the disclosure. They decilionating so that they can provide cool air for these data centers, for these data bank centers. And then they're going to what? Feed us the toxic waste called water. Because guess what? Water is heavy. That's why when you read stories about more people that drown, you ain't got no business with water in your body. I'm in my 50s. I just learned I've been drinking toxic waste my whole fucking life. Oh my God, I've been drinking toxic waste. They told me to give my children 8 cups of water a day. I've been giving my children 8 cups of toxic water. So you see this? The fastest way. Excuse me, y'all. Mm. Oh, go hear that because I just started detoxing. And y'all know I don't believe in taking suppressants. Fuck that shit. That's why when you see these bloated people look fucked up. They've been taking suppressants. Okay? They've been taking suppressants to yeah, they've been taking suppressants to stop their detox. When you're detoxing, you're hacking. You should have tears coming out your eyes. You should be coughing up some stuff you don't even recognize. Be like, whoa. So this is my daily saline, my daily alkaline. With this, I drink less and less. I don't put the metal top on because I don't want the metal. Okay. You should be having less and less symptoms when you're drinking that. You should be drinking less and less water too. You should be having less symptoms of having a purge. A lot of stuff that I was dealing with before, oh boy, is really going away. So you alkaline water is saline water, period. I don't know all this other osmosis, reverse osmosis, and bullshit they be talking about. But if you want your water, so like I said, I was gonna keep this short. That's already 20 minutes. Cash at me. Everything I just spoke to you is high power, baby. They are not desalinating the water to give you fresh fucking drinking water. They are doing more terraforming and more lying and fucking us over. You want the whole lesson plan? Come correct. Hit that cash app, hit that like. I love y'all. Do y'all thing. Listen, you got to get that saline in you. That is your real alkaline water. I don't know what reverse osmosis and all that shit. That's why I never spoke on that shit. I know if you want alkaline water, you got to do it yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your knowledge. Trust your connection. Yep. Trust your connection. Trust your connection to the realm, please. Yep. Trust your connection to the realm. Ooh, I love this. I'll be all tapped in with this stuff. So, yep, that was a quick lesson. I love y'all. Like, subscribe, and share the video. It's pure facts as quick as I can give it. I'm 50 years old. I learned that, but that was facts in 20 minutes. Hit that like, subscribe. Hit up that cash app. I won't be back on until next week. I'm going up against the beast, y'all. I done told y'all. So, before I go out, I got this notice on my tent. As reads, notice, schedule, site encampment, relocation. The Detroit Health Department and the Detroit Police Department visited this site on September 24th, 2025. They found health and safety risks to those who staying here. For your safety, moving will need to take place. Date of relocation. So they are moving me without my motherfucking permission. This is my land. You see that skin? You see the skin I'm in? That's the deed to the land I'm on. They have no right to move me. They are working under USC color of law. And I'm putting this out now because when they come on the date, to the day of, boy, I got them. So let this be known. I wanted to give y'all the desalination information first because they doing a lot of who you scare. The earthquakes is happening and all this shit because they fucking drilling when they ain't got no business doing it. Okay, basically, plain and simple. Yep, they drilling where they ain't got no business drilling. So let's get into it. This is a notice. Okay. Schedule site encampment relocation. The Detroit Health Department and the Detroit Police Department visited site on September 24th, 2025. They found health and safety risks to those staying here. For my safety, moving will need to take place. Date of relocation, Wednesday, September 24th. I don't know how they did that, but it ain't even. They came, was it early? A couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. All personal property on this site must be moved by relocation September 24, 25, or it will be disposed of during the time scheduled cleanup time of 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay? So, this is why this is illegal. They are using US 18 Code, United States Code, Section 242, or deprivation of rights under color of law. is a federal criminal statute that makes it a crime for any person acting under the color of law. Excuse me, y'all. To willfully deprive another person of their constitutional or federally protected rights. Now, let's get this straight. My right to live here is not a federal right. It's not a human right. It is not a constitutional right. Motherfucker, I am a celestial child of this realm. I am Genesis 1. You see this. This is why they hate us. This is not a race. This is my fucking deed to the realm that everywhere I go, I got a right to it. And they create shit like this. You understand? To keep me out my power. To willfully deprive another person of their constitutional or federally protected rights. Acting under color of law means an official is using the pretense of legal authority. They are exceeding the authority. This statute implies to public officials and others acting in an official capacity, such as police officers, judges, and public health workers. Violations can result in fines or imprisonment, with penalties increasing for offenses that cause bodily injury, death, or lead to kidnapping or sexual. That means when they come to try to forcibly remove me, I'm going to be in this bitch laying down. And when you touch me or my shit, this is the United States code. This trumps state law and city law. And Detroit is older than the state of Michigan and older than any ordinance called the city of Detroit. Detroit was here long before y'all. That means I was here long before y'all. My grandparents was here long before y'all. Now, so we know that the Detroit Police Department is coming to violate me and put me in debt. Okay? Now, these are the people who run the health department. That's the staff of the health department. Yolanda R. Hill Ashford, Public Director of Public Health Programs. Nikita Cargins, Director of Marketing and Communications. Leah Smith, Administrative Director of Operations. Okay? Claudia Richardson, MD, Medical Director. Iris Taylor, Physical Director. Chief Public Health Officer. Denise Ferrazzo. Christina Floyd, MPH, I don't know what that means. Public Director of Health. So these people talk about, they hear about my health, but let's get it straight. Go to Google right now. What's wrong with these houses? All of the houses have mold and mildew in them, baby. All of the houses. All of the houses got mold and mildew in them. So you want to get me out my tent and put me back in the Detroit house that's filled with mold and mildew. Mold and mildew. Okay? So, let's go to natural law. Leviticus 14, 33, 41. Plague, mold, and mildew is considered the plague. Y'all not getting me back in no mold and mildew. Y'all know what this, okay, Amos 9:14. Builders of waste cities. Luke 4:4-7. Satan offers man what? A decaying realm. Isaiah 5. Isaiah chapter 5, 8-9. Desolate housing. Hosea chapter 10, 14. And all thy fortresses shall be spoiled. So they want me to move out my clean tent where I'm actually the healthiest I've ever been to move back into a mold and mildew infested house, not only with mold and mildew, which is called openly the plague in the Bible, but filled with mice and roaches and flies, which they create, and mosquitoes. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. So, like I was saying, they want to deprive me of my life. They don't want to just put me in debt. They want to deprive me of my life. And I just called out everybody involved. So when I go live on the day of, when they come back next week to violate this celestial being, I got that ass. And we're going to live stream, mind you. Thank you. So like I said, I love y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. Y'all have a great one. As always, my words are worth more than my weight in gold. And right now, I need something more than gold, baby. Peace and love.